So here are arguably the two most popular fragrances by the brand Parfums de Marly. It goes without saying that they are also two of my favorite fragrances from the brand as well, in addition to Carlisle and Pegasus Exclusif and Haultain. These are LAYTON and LAYTON Exclusif. I'm going to be doing a comparison. I'm going to talk to you about the smell, the performance, the longevity. I'm going to put them side by side and let you know which one I think is worth picking up. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin this comparison video between LAYTON and LAYTON Exclusif by Parfums de Marly, and I try to break them down in terms of the smell, the performance, and all that other good stuff, I do want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit that bell icon and click where it says enable all notifications. This way, whenever I do upload future videos to the channel, it will get delivered straight to your feed, and I upload on a daily basis. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you took something of value from today's episode. It would really mean a lot to me. So LAYTON and LAYTON Exclusif. The first thing that I would say to do is try them in person, right? So that is the first, kind of at the forefront of these suggestions here. If there is a Nordstrom, a Neiman Marcus, if you're at any department store that happens to be carrying Parfums de Marly, or if you live in the tri-state area and you can visit the boutique at 805 Washington Street, first and foremost, I would highly recommend that you try them on skin, see how they interact with your skin chemistry, of course, your pH levels, how oily your skin is. All of these things will be a direct contributor as to how they smell for you, and scent is subjective. So giving you my personal opinion will not directly or, definitely influence your overall take on which one you prefer over these two. But let's start with LAYTON. LAYTON came out in 2016. The perfumer for both is Hamid Merati Kashani. He's an amazing perfumer. I've met him in person on a number of occasions. He's done fragrances for so many different brands. I had a nice dinner with him, and he's such a down-to-earth individual. I even hosted an event for him when Oriana, or with him I should say, when Oriana came out a couple of years back. So here we have LAYTON 2016 release. You guys know this one. Apple, vanilla, lavender, I think a touch of geranium as well. I actually have all the notes listed on the back here. Bergamot, mandarin, lavender, apple, violet, jasmine, geranium, guaiac wood, patchouli, sandalwood, cardamom, vanilla, and a little bit of pepper. It's a beautiful fragrance. Sensual. It's a date night sort of a fragrance. Whenever people ask the question, what is a good recommendation for like a clubbing fragrance, right? If you're going to a club or a party or a night out, or if you're looking for an intimate type of a scent, people always recommend LAYTON. The vanilla just does wonders. The lavender with that sandalwood, it's creamy, it's smooth, it's aromatic. It has this sort of sensual type of a masculine aroma to it. And the apple alongside the citrus in the opening is very playful. It has a flirtatious nature about it. Now, what is the difference as far as the smell is concerned between the original LAYTON and LAYTON Exclusif? Well, this one came out a year later in 2017. As I said, it's the same perfumer, so it's not a brand new perfumer reinventing the DNA or anything like that. It's quite literally the same exact perfumer. This fragrance, if you look at the note breakdown on various websites online, you see there's Laotian oud, so there's a bit of a darker base. There's an added note of coffee. There's an animalic note known as civet, which comes from the civet cat. And then in the opening, you also have a touch of almond. You don't have the green apple in here, so the apple has been omitted. So it seems like it's going to be a less bright and a much darker type of a scent with an amber accord in the dry down as well. For me personally, LAYTON Exclusif, yes, it is darker. It has that coffee oud sort of a DNA in the dry down. As far as that animalic tendency is concerned, do not worry about it. It does not smell animalic to me. I know a lot of times when we're thinking about castoreum or civet or musk or any of these other animalic ingredients, perhaps even ambergris to a certain extent, people have the impression that it's going to smell like a barnyard or something like that. That is not the case with LAYTON Exclusif at all. So you can wipe that concern out of mind. Nothing to worry about here. This fragrance does have the coffee, the oud, the amber, so it's deeper, it's warmer, and that bite of almond in the opening is actually really nice. And I love almond, and that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy Pegasus by Parfums de Marly. Pegasus has a fantastic almond note in it, almond and jasmine and vanilla, and kind of smells like Dior's Hypnotic Poison, which is an unique Minardo composition. But here you have these facets in the dry down, and it creates this darker, richer, more enigmatic and mysterious version of the original Layton. So the one that I would have the easiest time recommending, and I'm going to be honest with you, is Layton. If somebody says, hey, look, I'm just getting into the Marley house, I'm not sure what to try first, 100% the first fragrance that I would recommend is Layton. I would say go out there, get your nose on Layton. It's sensual. You have the lavender, you have the vanilla, you have the apple, the geranium, the sandalwood, the guaiac wood. It's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Now, if they say, you know what, I've worn a lot of niche fragrances, I own a lot of niche fragrances, Steve, which one do you personally prefer? I would say definitely go with Layton Exclusive. For the layman or somebody who's just getting into this hobby, I don't want to scare them away. So I'm going to recommend Layton. But for somebody who's a little bit more experienced, perhaps Layton Exclusive. What about performance, right? We're talking longevity, projection, sillage, which is the scent trail that the fragrance leaves behind you as you enter a room or as you're walking past. Layton, you're going to get roughly 7 to 8 hours, right? So I would say in the wheelhouse of 8 hours, and it's actually a very long lasting fragrance. All of this is going to be contingent on your skin chemistry. You might get 9 hours, you might get something worse, something better, but that's the general range of what to expect. Layton Exclusive, it is more expensive if you look on the website. I'm also going to leave links down below to scentsplit.com. You can actually sample both of these. You can buy a decant, so this way you don't have to commit to buying a full-size bottle, which is going to set you back a few $100s, right? With Layton Exclusive, I actually do get in the vein of 12 hours. This is the longest lasting Parfums de Marly fragrance, in my opinion. Of course, there are some other really dark fragrances, Hamdani, and of course there is Acaster, and Haultain is also very long lasting, and Godolphin is a very long lasting leather fragrance as well. But Layton Exclusive, in my opinion, is the longest lasting Parfums de Marly fragrance, and that is based off of my personal experience of having worn the entire catalog of their fragrances. So here you have a fragrance that is very bright, aromatic, a little bit sweet, and then one that goes in a darker direction with coffee and Laotian oud, otherwise known as agarwood, a little bit of almond in the opening, and an amber accord in the dry down. Same perfumer, 1 year difference in terms of their release date, and here you have 8 to 9 hours longevity, 12 plus hours of longevity. Of course, the price for Layton Exclusive is going to be a little bit steeper. Layton is going to be a little bit more on the, I don't want to say affordable, because niche fragrances really are not affordable. It's a luxury good, but you're going to save a bit of money purchasing Layton over Layton Exclusive. But the final verdict on this is, if you're asking me what my favorite is, Layton Exclusive. Which one would I first recommend? Layton, without a doubt. It depends on the person and how I'm curating these recommendations for that particular individual based off of his or her level of experience, I suppose, and their personal tastes. And of course, I would guide them through a series of questions. What have you worn in the past? And how long have you been wearing it? What do you like about it? Where are you planning on wearing it to? So on and so forth. But in any case, I want to hear from you guys. Drop your comments down below. What has your experience been with Layton? Do you prefer one over the other? Do you like the exclusive version? Do you prefer the original? I've read comments of people online who said, you know what, I don't really get along with the exclusive version. I've read other comments where people were like, I was wearing Layton until I discovered the exclusive version. Now that's all I wear, right? I won't purchase Layton again because all I wear now is the exclusive version. So I do think it's a matter of personal preference. Drop your comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this comparison video between Layton and Layton Exclusive by Parfums de Marly. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you again so much for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.